Today is Wednesday, May 28th, 2025. This is my second reading. My daughter, I have two daughters, right? The first daughter is in the UK, preparing for her business administration course at, at Durham University, right? And then another daughter is uh, 15 years old, but she dropped out of school after 1 month into the academic year, right? She just didn't like the studying at the school, and she had some health issues of her own, so that's why she dropped out of the school. And my wife doesn't talk to me, which is usual. So basically, I feel miserable sometimes, and I feel left alone. So I don't know. I cannot move them to Connecticut, but I just sympathize with this dad. Let's read this article. To see what is going on in America. This article is from Yahoo, right? Insider. I'm moving my family from Florida to Connecticut. I was blown away by the differences in schools and safety. Kelly Birch. Ellie Doyle is a mom of three who's moving from Florida to Connecticut. I've been to Connecticut. My train passed through Connecticut when I was trying to get to MIT and Harvard in Boston from New York. My train, Amtrak, I think passed through Connecticut. She said that in Florida schools, the libraries had some bare shelves after book bans. What the fuck? Book bans? She saw more diversity at the Connecticut school she's chosen for her daughter, she said. This As Told to essay is based on conversation with Ellie Doyle. It has been edited for length and clarity. I was born and raised in Miami, but I don't want to raise my kids in Florida. That's especially true since the pandemic. That's when I feel like Florida became really crazy. My state was well known for not enforcing COVID-19 precautions, right? That's good expression. For enforcing COVID-19 precautions. That's good expression, man. Enforcing COVID-19 precautions. My sister was in kidney failure, and I donated my kidney to her, so she needed to be extra cautious. It felt really unsafe and scary to live in Florida, so much so that we moved to South Carolina temporarily. I also saw a shift toward more conservative politics displayed more aggressively. Right? In Korea, conservative politics, I think they are bad, right? They insist on infringing on the privacy of people. They want the people to give up some of their rights to make Korea strong again, right? Conservative. Donald Trump. That's why my husband and I are moving our 5-year-old daughter and 1-year-old twins from Florida to Connecticut. Here are the reasons we decided to make that move before our oldest starts kindergarten in the fall. I want better schools for my kids. Miami schools weren't great when I went through them. And now I have a lot of more concerns about schools in Florida, especially in St. Augustine, where we live. When we looked at schools in Florida, I noticed that some library shelves were bare. I was poignant visual representation of policies such as book banning. There are also tons of funding cuts in Florida. My nephew's gifted program recently ended, and a friend had to withdraw her autistic daughter from school because she didn't have the resources she needed. I want my kids to be in a district where they are supported, no matter what their needs are. The school was visited in Connecticut, had bright decor, a new playground, and a packed library. I would see these things in a private school in Florida, but in Connecticut, my kids will get them without $30,000 tuition bill. $30,000 tuition bill. That's absurdly high. I'm concerned about safety. Guns are a huge worry of mine in Florida, where there's even a law that teachers can carry in schools. When we asked about that in the Connecticut school, the woman giving us a tour looked at us like we were nuts. My sister taught in elementary school in Florida and was really traumatized by the fact that schools showed kids actual videos of evacuations after shootings. I don't want my children to watch kids filing out of a building with police everywhere, right? That's good expression. Here, right? Here, this one. I don't want my children to watch kids filing out of a building with the police everywhere. Now here, the police is conceptual, right? It's uncountable now. So police everyone. I would say with policemen everywhere. Policemen everywhere, but with police everywhere. And also filing, right? In a file, in a line of people, like a line of rats come out of a hole, or weasels, right? Filing. I don't want my children to watch kids filing out of a building with the police everywhere. That's good expression to remember from my own perspective. I already don't allow my daughter to go to one of my girlfriend's homes because I know there are guns in her house. In Connecticut, I still planned to ask new friends about gun safety, but I feel like it will be an easier conversation to broach. I want religion to be less of a part of daily life. Where we live in Florida, everything from daycare to the local fair is organized by churches. That's fine for people who are religious, but we are not. Yeah, I'm agnostic myself too. So I don't want religious stories in my kids' day-to-day experiences. Here, everything seems in a roundabout way guided by religion. Right? In a roundabout way. In a roundabout way. Never heard of the expression. Like a ballpark figure by assumption, right? The author could be wrong, but like 80% confident. In a roundabout way. Connecticut felt much warmer and open to me. I loved seeing the diversity in my daughter's soon-to-be school. In Florida, she's never had a black or Hispanic classmate, and as a Hispanic mom, I feel it's really important to me that she sees an array of cultures, right? Array of cultures. In a roundabout way. I think my kids will have more choices in Connecticut. Nowhere is perfect, People are quick to point out problems with Connecticut, like high taxes or the fact that the Sandy Hook school shooting happened here. Also, Sandy Hook school is in Connecticut. Never, oh hell. I think Connecticut is a very good state to live in, right? Connecticut, probably it has some maple syrup, and also people are leisurely paced. Personally, I am sad to be farther from my family. I know my parents are going to miss the kids so much. Yet Connecticut is the best choice for our family right now. I'm looking forward to the kids experiencing 4 seasons, but I'm even more excited for them to have quality education and choices, no matter who they grow up to be. Okay, so Connecticut is a good state compared to Florida, right? In Florida, a lot of shootings, teachers carry guns, and yeah, they have a lot of cultures, an array of cultures, but I don't want our children to watch students filing out of school building with police everywhere. Right? And she wants diversity. She wants children to go to a library where a lot of books are there and there are no book bans. And what else? What else I remembered? Let's go back and see what I marked for memorization. In a roundabout way, right? I don't want my children to watch kids filing out of building with the police everywhere. Enforcing COVID-19 precautions. So here, let's check out the term in a roundabout way. In a roundabout way means doing or saying something in a non-direct or non-straightforward manner. It implies a less direct approach than necessary. For example, a driver might take a roundabout route to avoid traffic, or someone might ask a question in a roundabout way to avoid being too blunt, right? This author was saying no diversity in Florida, right? In a roundabout way. Or Florida is affected by religion. Christian churches organize everything in a roundabout way, right? To be mentioned as a roundabout way. Thanks for listening.